So what you have in front of you is the summative assessment of the first half of the circular motion unit. So there will be some simple kind of V equals 2 pi r over t stuff on here. There will be some centripetal acceleration stuff, so V squared over r. There will be some simple centripetal force stuff, mv squared over r. And then there will be some more complex stuff like unbanked curves, bank curves, artificial gravity, vertical circles, okay, that kind of stuff where we're trying to figure out what is FC equal to, okay, what's providing FC, it's forces in minus forces out, or is it friction or whatever, okay, so keep in mind that there's a little bit of everything on here, so some of the questions are going to be very, very simple, and some of them are going to be a little bit more involved, okay, just kind of be ready for all types. Make sure you also look at the point values. Okay, the point values are going to give you a pretty good indication of how much work is going to be involved for each one. Okay, other things, make sure you read the questions carefully. There are a couple of questions that specifically ask for the direction. Okay, most of the time when we're dealing with centripetal force, we don't write the direction because anything centripetal is directed towards where? Toward the center of the circle. So most of the time we don't write it, but if it does outright ask for it, then it's required as part of the answer. So just be aware there are a couple of questions where it specifically asks for direction. Okay, so not too much to tell you about number one. Okay, it's kind of as simple as it sounds. Same with number two. Okay, number three. What's the magnitude and direction of the centripetal acceleration of this magnetic tape that's being wound around a spool? Okay. Number four. Okay, again, nothing like terribly complex there. Number five, make sure you read it carefully. Number six. Yeah, it's uniform. Okay, so that one's more of a like check your understanding type of question. So there is an explanation part to that question, right? Part B says if the speed is doubled, does the centripetal force double? It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to show a calculation proving one way or the other what happens, okay? And then some sort of explanation here because you will see you are asked why it does or doesn't, okay, double in that situation. So make sure you have some sort of explanation there as to why, okay, and don't just write like, because it does, all right? That's not going to be good enough, okay? I'm going to need something a little more than that for that question. Okay, number seven, okay, you're being asked to find an angle. Again, just show your work there, okay? Another one where we have a curve that's banked and we're given the angle, right? We're looking for speed in that one. Okay, and they're telling us that friction is negligible in both, so essentially it's not present. Number 9 is talking about a condition of apparent weightlessness when a plane flies over the top of a vertical circle. All right, we know how to do that kind. Okay, so you got a few kind of vertical circular motion questions there, and then it finishes off with an unbanked curve question. All right, that one, there's a couple of ways to solve that one. Both would be considered correct. Just make sure that you show your work for either way that you choose for the last one. Okay, other than that, there's not much to tell you. To be perfectly honest, these questions are not that difficult. We've done ones quite a bit harder than this in class already. Okay, there's absolutely nothing on here you haven't done a whole bunch of times already in class. So realistically, you should get pretty close to done today in class for this. Okay, I will put a due date up here in just a minute once I figure out what it's going to be. No, there's no gravitation on this. This is just the first half of the unit. So the stuff we talked about yesterday is not on here, so you won't have to use the universal law of gravitation at all on this one. Okay. Emily? Yes, there'll be a gravitation one when we get done all of that. Yeah. Okay, any other questions there, guys? Okay, have at her then. Okay, due date for this, May 16th. Like I said before, that shouldn't be any issue. If you stay focused on this in class, you should be almost done the whole thing by the end of class today. Okay. I have actually made this due at the end of class before, so that gives you some indication. I'm not doing that this time, okay? Giving you a week